Good afternoon and welcome everyone. This is Mr. Russo, one of your continuing education eClass summer school principals. Very nice to see everyone. Well, in the chat that is. This is again an opportunity for summer school students to get to meet their principal or one of their principals and be able to ask questions, get some program updates, and just make sure that you put a face to a name and the program so that you know someone behind the scenes is not virtual, that there's an actual person with an actual team here that is supporting this wonderful opportunity for students and staff. So in terms of today, we have to be cognizant of the fact that we have session 1 students that are just past the midterm mark in the calendar, and that we have session 2 students that are literally on day 2 of their program. So we're going to try to provide information for everyone, and of course we're going to try to get to all your questions. So first thing, in terms of important program updates and procedures, this applies pretty much to everyone, session 1 and session 2 students. If you are requesting to drop the course, or if you've made up your mind and you think that you want to drop your course without having it show up on your academic record and transcript, then what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to obviously discuss this with your parents or a guardian or guardians, especially if you're under the age of 18. And then you're going to have to communicate this request to your online teacher. Okay, so your online teacher is going to be seeing this request, and in the request you're going to explain that you've spoken with your parents and that or guardians, and that you'd like to request to be withdrawn from the course. And then your teacher will email us here, part of the team will pick up that email, process that withdrawal request, and then we will send that confirmation to your teacher. Will inform you that the withdrawal has been confirmed and completed. Okay, very, very big important update, because in terms of our own procedures and reporting back to the Ministry of Education, we need to have consistent process that ensures that everyone is kept in the loop around the status of a student's enrollment, just because we want to be part of the success as well of the student and their experience. So next, we wanted to remind session 1 students that at this point in time, you're looking at writing a final exam next Friday, July the 26th. Whether for majority of the courses, you're writing an online exam, but for grade 12 university level courses, you'll be writing a face-to-face in-class exam here where I'm based, which is at the Catholic Education Center of the Toronto Catholic District School Board at 80 Shepherd Avenue East. And the schedule will come out shortly, because in the background right now, we have a couple of vice principals that are walking the building here to make sure that we have all the necessary rooms and all the necessary seating and tables and chairs and all that stuff to make sure that we can host our exams. So we do have many more exams for grade 12 university courses than we can actually host here. So we will be running a session in the morning and a session in the afternoon. So that schedule will confirm when your class is scheduled to be here at the Catholic Education Center. Okay, that's going to come out very shortly. So that's details around your final exam. For a lot of students, for various reasons, whether you're new to e-learning, whether you registered late, or whether you had some login issues, you may have fallen behind. So if there are outstanding activities, assignments, tasks This is your opportunity. This is your time to follow up with your teacher and say, sir, miss, how can I, create a plan with you to help me submit a reasonable number of incomplete assignments? So, advocate for yourself, share your voice, take ownership of your education, and follow up with your teacher. Okay? Because the plan here is that you don't stop as of the day of the exam, which is Friday, July 26th. You still have the weekend if you have an opportunity to, submit anything. And then you also have Monday, July the 29th. So just to be clear though, if there are outstanding assignments or activities that you've created a plan with your teacher to submit, if those activities and assignments are included in your final exam, then they need to be submitted and returned by the Wednesday before the final exam. Because if those materials and those curriculum areas that are covered within those tasks are covered on the final exam, then you need to have those items back, right, in order to prepare for your final exam. So your teachers know this. They're in the background planning for this. And, they're trying to keep track of everyone and where they're at. But you can also help out by taking ownership of your own experience and your own course and your own education by reaching out to your teacher and letting them know where you think you're at and where you want to go. Okay, work on it together because they would love to work on a plan with you. I think at this time, session 2, we can transition to session 2 students that are. I noticed that there's a lot of chat in the chat area, which is great. So I'll get to those questions shortly. For session 2 students, I know that we are still registering students, but there are very few spots and they are being filled up by students who have never taken a course in session 1 or in session 2. And these are the ones, these registration forms have come in and we're processing those. I know that some students from session 1 are trying to move into session 2, but at this time, it's not possible. Registration is pretty much done. And so, again, we've got to go back to contacting your session 1 teacher and making sure that you have a plan in place to catch up, to submit a reasonable number of activities that are outstanding, and making your way to towards the successful completion of the credit and of the course. So if you're unable to switch into session 2 because there are no spots, then there's still plenty of hope. You've got plenty of time. You've got 2 solid weeks to go back to your, almost 2 weeks. That includes the weekends, to catch up, to work out a plan with your teacher to make sure that you can still be successful in your course. Okay? There's always plenty of hope. Where there's will, hard work, and clear communication, there's plenty of time and opportunity. Okay? Okay, so session 2 students. I'm just going to quickly glance at the chat area to see what's happening, what people are sharing. And here we go. A lot of you. Okay. Let's see here. This is also my other TC. Okay. Okay. A lot of comments. You're all chatting with one another. Awesome. There are no remedial courses as part of our e-learning program. All of the courses that are available are full online courses, right? So they're fully, there's no upgrades. It's a full course, start to finish. You're not doing parts of the course, you're doing the whole course, right? I can't even find the work for my courses as I just got on today. So Christina, in terms of accessing the work or the content, if you go to class list, which is an icon in the navigation bar, which is again or closer to the top of the page. Click on, I believe, communication tools or communication. You'll notice an icon that's called class list. Click on class list, and you'll be able to find your teacher because they'll be assigned a role title as teacher. So click on their name. You'll notice that a window will pop up, and that's a window for you to compose a message to send an email to your teacher. So just say hello. I'm just accessing things for the first time. Would appreciate if you can help me find the course calendar or the course information sheet, or help me with the schedule of tasks that are happening and that are due, or whatever else you need in terms of guidance. Okay, Monisha, yeah, it's pretty confusing, but try clicking on the content icon and then the Know Yourself tab. Yeah, part of poking around and seeing what's there. I mean, when students register, we have orientation sessions, and those orientation sessions happen close to the beginning of July, right? So now we're 2 weeks past the beginning. And so you do have an option if you wanted to come in and sit with a teacher. That window has passed, but if you're in need of sitting down with someone just to understand how to use the platform, you can always drop in at the Catholic Education Center here at 80 Shepherd Avenue East, Monday to Friday, not on the weekends. And someone is here if you need the help on the second floor between the hours of 9:30 and 3 o'clock. Okay, just putting that out there in case anyone needs that help. Just bring your device and we can try and help you through the navigation part. Okay. Do I complete the assignment and activities at the same time? So Super Mario Pixel Man. I love these names. I can never think of a name when I'm creating an account, so I'm learning from you guys. So do I complete the assignment and activities at the same time? That sounds like a question for your teacher, because are they two separate things? Are they, is one supposed to be submitted before the other? And even before you get back the feedback from your teacher, you're going to want to ask your teacher that question, okay? I love how you guys are answering each other's questions. That's awesome. Kevin, hi, sir. Just wanted to say thank you for all the help and support you've given us thus far. Have a great afternoon. Thank you so much, Kevin. You don't understand how much I appreciate that kind of feedback. It sometimes feels a bit lonely in that you're communicating to a camera and an audience, but you don't see the audience. So I appreciate that you're all giving me this feedback. It goes a long way. Okay. Hi, Mr. Russo. I'm having trouble emailing my teacher. Is it because, so Masuda, is it because you can't find your teacher? Because they should be there, and you're just clicking on the name of the teacher, and then it'll open up a window for you to compose a message. Okay, go to class list. Oh, look at you, Simon. Thank you so much. I can't find my Unit 2 assignments and activities. So Stephen, same thing. I would reach out to your teacher, because you never know, right? They're setting things up in the background so that you never know, they may not have made the right content available, or maybe they've got to fix some links here and there. So I would reach out to them just in case. Okay. Will my teacher also go live for lessons, or is it just through text online? That's a great question, Ronde. So teachers have their own style, right? Their own process, their own approach to teaching and learning, just like in day school, just like in face-to-face. So should they choose to do this? Great. Should they choose to communicate through text and content, text-based content, and whatever other tools that they want to use to create that interactive experience? Totally up to them. But if you do enjoy video tutorials, you may want to suggest that to your teacher, and maybe they can find the time and you know, spend the opportunity, the investment to learn some of the tools and be able to possibly create video tutorials and share them with you. You know, the beauty about teaching and learning today is that we all have a voice, right? Um, Share your ideas, share how you think you can express your understanding, but also what motivates and inspires you to continue to learn, to deepen your understanding, to, you know, find connections between what you're learning in one area and connect it to another area, and just continue to create. So share your ideas with your teacher. They would love to hear them. Okay. No problem. Will my teacher go live on virtual classroom or on YouTube as well? Again, it all depends on your teacher and their style. I know some teachers are creating video tutorials. I don't know of any that are going live and committing to a specific time during the day. Who knows, right? Reach out to your teacher, let them know that you really appreciate and enjoy the live sessions between principal and students, and maybe they'll get around to it in terms of possibilities going forward. Okay. All right. So, you know, just thinking about session two students, Monday of next week. Let's see here. Let me think of my dates because I don't want to jump the gun here. But just by looking at the calendar, so you started on, yeah, so you've got a solid almost 10 days. One, two, if we include the weekends, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. You've got, if you include the weekends, you've got a solid 12 days, 11 or 12 days before your midterm reporting, or your midterms are going to be reported. So take advantage of the weekends. Reminder though, that teachers are not expected to be online on the weekends. So factor that into your planning and scheduling as you're trying to pace yourself to complete tasks, not just on time, but to share them with your teacher in a timely manner so that you can get that feedback that will help move you along to um, you know, that'll help move you along to the next step, so that when you're submitting your work, it's not just a one-time submission, but that it's a journey that reflects your own progress and growth in the area that you're focusing on while you're submitting, as you're submitting that assignment. Okay. All right. So I think, you know, I don't really have anything further to say other than I hope that everyone is doing well in their course. I hope also that you're spending some time outdoors. You know, the flexibility of e-learning and the convenience of e-learning really doesn't mean much if you're not balancing things, right? You don't want to forget about the fact that you're registered in a summer school course, thinking that you can log in anytime. You can, but sometimes, you know, other things in life take over and you might take it for granted that you can sign in at any time. So I highly recommend that you make the effort to sign in daily, that you make the effort to check in with your teacher and send them an email and say, you know, how's it going? I'm just wondering, when is this task due? Or um, is there anything else I should be looking for? What's coming up ahead? Just have that conversation and touch base with your teacher, because then they'll understand where you're at, and they'll gauge the pulse of the class and where students are at, and they'll react to that, right? Their teaching and their setup is very organic, and it sort of, it adjusts to the needs of the students. So share that information, keep connected to your teacher, keep connected to your classmates, and just have fun. That could be hard to manage. Yeah, manage 2 courses, absolutely. But you know what? Um, I'm taking courses right now as well, and they're online. And I can assure you that I have to prioritize my day in terms of the events in a day every day, every day. And so not only do I have to prioritize the time I spend on various tasks, but I also have to pace myself when it comes to my own energy, right? We have, you know, a tank full of gas at the start of the day, but by the end of the day, we kind of, you know, we get tired and we use up all that energy. So you got to pace yourself and, you know, really try to make that concerted effort to have fun, but also be responsible and focused on your tasks so that you don't have to spend more time completing your tasks than you need to because you're actually present and focused on what you're doing. Okay. I guess what I'm doing here right now is I'm channeling my own reflections um, as a principal compared to when I was a student myself, right? And so if I could go back and be that student again, I would make the effort to be focused on what it is that I'm doing, accept it, embrace it. You know, there are a lot of tasks and subject areas that are not interesting to me, but I still would rise to the occasion, spend that time and that effort to really understand and learn and do the best I can in terms of moving along and moving through the course. Yeah. So that's it, folks. This will be my last broadcast in terms of support sessions for students at this point in time for this summer. I'm very happy that a lot of you participated. I know that based on my analytics through my YouTube channel, I can tell that a lot of students and a lot of people are watching the recordings. So I'm happy that the convenience of YouTube and being able to access it on a whole bunch of platforms and how the actual broadcast turns into a recording. I'm happy that it's really that convenient. So my pleasure, my pleasure. So again, you know, keep in touch. There's still a lot of time to go, but I'm hoping that you're balancing your situations and that you're having fun while trying to successfully earn a credit this summer. Spend time with friends and family. If you can, you know, work a part-time job and gain that experience or volunteer your time, that's also something great for you to do. Okay, folks? So that's it. I'm going to sign off now, and I just want to thank you for doing your best and committing to your course and being a part of our TCDSB family. Signing off. All the best, folks. My pleasure. You take care.